time has come. For 300 years, we prepared, we grew stronger. While you rested in your cradle of power.
So if you remember a few days ago, I did a video on the Gucci fashion show and how ridiculous it was. This is kind of a compliment to that video in a lot of ways, and I'm going to show you why. But first, let me show you something. So this is kind of what it's all about when they talk about, changing toxic masculinity. When we need to change that, we need to get rid of those toxic masculine traits. This is really what it's all about. Getting dudes to act like the ladies and the ladies to act like the dudes. Like a role swapping. That's kind of what's been going on for a while. And now we're seeing a different kind of take on getting rid of toxic masculinity. And that's in praise of short men. Will the rise of short kings spell the fall of toxic masculinity? That article, however, is not the reason that we're here. It's this one. Why women should start giving short men a chance. I used to prefer dating tall men, but now I'm urging women to start lowering their height expectations. Do you want to know the reason for why women should start lowering their height expectations? You guessed it, the patriarchy.
I am shocked. Shocked.
So I got to be honest, I'm shocked that it took this long for them to write something like this. And this is probably the first of many. This one just came out Saturday the 18th. So I expect more. It's just really weird, like social engineering going on. If you look at like the Gucci stuff, like that's the real example of toxic masculinity. Like just being a guy seems to be toxic masculinity. How do you avoid that? Well, you put on a shirt like this right here. Boom. Now you're no longer a toxic man. Just raid Donna's closet from that 70s show. Bam. You are no longer a toxic male. And then the best way to start changing things up is for women to date feminine men who are shorter than them. That's the real way we take down the patriarchy and toxic masculinity. But it's more so, all right, so let's just change everything. It's almost like a complete role reversal. Women taller than men, all this on, so on and so on. It's really strange to watch. And it's like no one really talks about it. And I'm really shocked that nobody, like normies, don't see it more. I guess maybe some of us spent a little bit too much time digging through the gutter trash of the internet for articles like this. But I see it quite a bit. So stepping away from that for a minute, for the longest time, men have been attacked for what they like in a woman. I like a slender woman, or I like a woman that's this height, or she looks this way. They get attacked. You're not allowed to have preferences. But if a woman says that she likes a taller man, that's no big deal. That's been okay. It's okay for a woman to have preferences, but a man, he's supposed to just take whatever he can get. It's really been hilarious to watch, and that's just been a double standard that's been going on for a while. So I find it funny now that we're going to start shaming women, basically, for the same thing. It's always been a weird kind of double standard. Like, it's okay. And you'll see profiles saying, oh, I only like men that are a certain height. But that's fine. But if you put, if you have some dating profile and you put, I like women that aren't, I don't like women that weigh more than this. Well, now you're an istophobe and a very, very terrible, terrible person. So one of the ways to accelerate these kinds of changes is to put it in media. It helps normalize things. They've been trying to do this with plus-size ladies. That's been the real big push. I'm talking big, too. Not like like a healthy, thick. I'm talking like diabetic down the road problems. You've seen that. It's this whole acceptance thing, which I'm against because being that large comes with a lot of health risks. And, when it comes to, you want to talk about having free health care and stuff, then they're going to have to make laws to make it illegal to be very big because it's going to cost us a lot of money in healthcare to take care of people who aren't taking care of themselves. But that's a video for somebody else to talk about. I'm going to talk about this. So they've been trying to do that. They're having problems with it because biologically, people see that and they think, well, I don't know if you can survive to take care of my offspring. Just like how women tend to look at, as far as, on a biological sense, a taller man as like a guy who can, protect the offspring. And I'm sure you can find plenty of videos that go over biology and attraction and stuff that will explain those things. So this article starts off talking about this actress right here. I don't know who she is, never heard of her, just goes more in line with what I've always talked about, that nobody gives a damn about celebrities anymore. And she said on Twitter, "In film and media, I want to see short men with tall women. I want to see intertrans love. I want dark-skinned with light-skinned men. I want Asian with white women. I want thin men with fat women. I want to see able-bodied with disabled. Tired of dating stereotypes." Let's go ahead and, take a look at who she's dating. Kind of funny, when you Google search who her boyfriend is, you find a picture of them together, and boy, she doesn't seem to be practicing what she preaches with a shorter boyfriend or one that's in a wheelchair or something. Seems like an able-bodied, tall man, at least taller than her. But, hypocrites in Hollywood seem to go well together. This is why we had hashtag Hollywood hypocrites. But it's okay. It's different if they want to do it. They just expect you to change. Just like when they sit there and talk about changing your diet for the climate. You think these rich Hollywood elites are going to be eating bugs and plants? No, they're going to keep eating meat, and they're just going to pay more for it. And it'll just be more overpriced so that you can't afford it. They're not going to have that problem because they're already making loads of money. This is why Ricky Gervais touched such a note with people. Because they're all a bunch of hypocrites that don't practice what they preach. They're all fake. They're all pretty much, in my opinion, garbage people. Everybody in Hollywood. All of them are trash. Except maybe a few exceptions. But it ain't many. It ain't many. So anyway, we'll start down here. It does seem like Short Kings, the internet pet name for short men. They have a pet name. Are having a moment. Ever since the comedian Young White coined the term in 2018, "We are valid, we are strong, we are at lower risk of heart disease," he joked on Twitter. There has been more space to talk about short men being desirable. Why not extend this newfound acceptance of short men to the big screen? Well, Tom Cruise has been doing it for years. The problem is, Tom Cruise is a really strange person. I mean, he's a Scientologist. But anyway, I don't know if you guys know this, but Tom Cruise is a really short dude. But in movies, he literally has it set up so he looks taller. They'll put him on, they'll do weird things with the set, stuff like that. You would never know how short he is based on how he's positioned in movies. I always thought that was really interesting. And it's really interesting how many people don't even know that. But he's commanded such star power, he's been able to do that. I don't know if he quite has that anymore. Now, he has it for Top Gun 2, for sure. They can't do that movie without him. But, the days of Tom Cruise starring in a movie and that movie making big, big bucks, those days are over. Those days are over. So anyway, now I know what you're all thinking. There is such a dearth of diversity on screen. Should this really be the hill we die on? But consider this. All observation over tall men is related to, you guessed it, patriarchy.
What a story, Mark.
And there you have it. That's the real thing. So, dating tall men, that's what keeps them in charge, ladies. We got to go shorter. I mean, of course, this is the sign point. I really wonder, are women getting sick of this yet? I'd really like to hear, a group of women talk about this stuff. I really would. I wonder if, you can find any studies that talk about this. Oh, wait, you can. And they all universally love tall men and masculine men, by the way. Bearded men also. generally appear more attractive to women. I want to preference that on well-kept. Women don't like scraggly, homeless look, but like a nice well-cut beard, women do seem to like that a little bit more. It has to go with like testosterone production and stuff like that. So take the movies in which mixed height couples do appear. In Shallow Hal, Gwyneth Paltrow, 5'9", towers over Jack Black, 5'6". The premise of that movie, man gets hypnotized so he doesn't realize he is dating an overweight woman, tells us something about the rules and attraction in a patriarchal world. A short man can date a tall woman only if she is fat, and he is tricked into it. So that's kind of there's a lot there to talk about, but it goes with what I've been saying. Women can be big. Men must date them. Men can be short. Women don't have to date them. No matter what they're saying in this paragraph, that's really what it is. So it's nice to see them finally starting to level the playing field a little bit. So she talks about Hunger Games a little bit. It's the same concept as the Shallow Hal statement. It's all about taking down toxic masculinity. If the problem with toxic masculinity is that it idolizes men for all of those things that are pointlessly connote masculinity without equating to it violence, machoism, confidence, then why not consider height in this equation? So that's right, ladies. Change how you like men. How you prefer men, that doesn't matter. You need to bust the patriarchy. You need to take down toxic masculinity. People constantly and wrongly equate height with masculinity. Men who are taller get promoted more, paid more, and are considered better leaders. That's all true. That's all true. More so if you're tall and handsome, then you get even more free things in life. It's just the way it is. I mean, what can you do about it? It's genetics, it's biology, it's attraction. It's just the way it is. I mean, you can't break these things down, but that's what they want to try and do, is break all this down. It makes everybody confused, makes everybody question things, and miserable. And I think at the end of the day, that's how they want everybody. They want everybody miserable. And that's where they want all of us at the end of the day. Miserable. It's the way it seems, because that's the way they live. They want, what's the old saying? Misery loves company. Yeah, I think it applies to these NPCs pretty nicely. So anyway, presidential candidates are tall, CEOs are tall. Height is an unattainable beauty standard for short men. What are they supposed to do? Grow? I mean, get better personality traits, develop other skills to help make up for that. You can still be short and be fine. You just have to work a little bit harder than somebody that's taller. I mean, it's just the way it is. You just work a little harder and you can fix it. If you're short, just make a lot of money. I mean, any man can say that, but that's kind of the universal thing. Develop a personality, become really funny, stuff like that. That's how you just balance things out. Don't be a coward. Still go approach women. You might get turned down a little bit more than the average guy, but that's life as a man. Rejection. I mean, you face it all the time, especially when you're trying to find a lady. I mean, you get turned down 100 times before one says yes, unless you're Vic Mignogna or something. Then they say yes right away because you're naturally pretty. And I mean, that's just life. If something doesn't work out, get better. Like they say in Dark Souls, get good. You gotta pull yourself up and you gotta get better at stuff. It's life is hard work. Instead of complaining about it, do something about it. If you're a short guy, work on your personality. Get some jokes under your belt. Improve. You'll find somebody. That's life. You just need to get better. But that's lost on a lot of people. Hard work is lost on a lot of people nowadays. They don't want to work for anything. It's why everybody has miserable credit scores and in debt up the ass, because nobody wants to work for anything. It's true. So she says, come on, feminists. To accept that there are conventional male beauty standards doesn't undermine our cause. It elevates it. Patriarchy isn't just a standard that entraps women. It's a standard that entraps everyone. This year, let's spotlight the worth of our short kings. How much you want to bet the woman who wrote this is still with a man that's taller than her? I would be willing to bet $100 on it. It's Hollywood hypocrites, man. So this is the next thing. I'm looking forward to seeing this develop, because this is how it usually starts. You'll see one or two slowly pop up, and then they start bombarding like articles and stuff on shaming. You'll see more check marks talking about it. And it'll be funny to watch because I think they're going to have a hard sell on this one because women seem pretty hard-nosed about liking dudes that are taller. I'm not saying that they'll make exceptions, but that seems to be something that I don't see changing. So I'm really looking forward to them to start shaming them over it. That'll be really funny. Maybe that's how we get all this nonsense to go away, is we just need to bring the roof down. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know your thoughts on this. I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. Also, throw a like. Remember, comments and likes really help videos out in the algorithm, so please consider leaving some. Also, share the video. That helps a lot. This isn't a trending topic, so it's not going to get recommended. So sharing the video helps. Also, make sure you still subscribe. Subscribe if you're new. Hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Also, if you want to help support the channel, check out my Teespring store. There's a link in the description. You can find some merchandise in there that you might want to check out. Also, take a moment. Make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. There's something going on right now, and they've been unsubscribing people. So just take a second and double check on that, and subscribe if you're new.